Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Bitcoin is doing nice as well. So, good morning to everybody who's bullish. And right now, it looks like bears might be on suicide watch. Now, why is that? Because we didn't drop down. So there has been a couple of, very interesting stuff that's been happening on the chart. A bullish stuffs, of course, bullish, very bullish, and we didn't drop down. And everybody's trying to short this thing towards downside. Everybody trying to push it down, but it's not dropping down. So you'll see over here, for example, that this box over here that was very shorted towards downside over here, went a little bit down and right back up there again. Now the bears did get again a little bit more hopium once we actually broke these high ups here towards upside, and everybody started shorting that again, because oftentimes when you used to go something like this, then you do a big fast move towards upside above these resistance levels, you often drop the below the support levels, and you continue dropping towards downside. So there was a bearish hopium up here that this move is just gonna drop down below the support level over here and continue dropping towards downside. That did not happen, which we can only assume is very bullish for us, right? So what's happening over here right now is that first of all, we didn't drop down, we just dropped down a little bit. You'll also see that we are holding the support level down here at the moving averages on the 10 and 20 moving average very nicely. We bounced off that. Right now we're still consolidating, so we're still consolidating over here in this last part over here, but this bigger pattern is playing out right now. It's not quite yet done. Now it is definitely bullish. Number one, we didn't drop down here. This box towards upside didn't just go up here and straight back down again. We were in a box. We should pull back towards downside a little bit, but we still create a higher low on the downside over here, which is again very bullish. Now the worst case scenario, the way I see it right now, is dropping below this line down here. I think that would be like the worst case scenario that might happen, and if that does happen, we might actually see some lower levels. So if we go over here below below support level, maybe even some kind of retest over here, that would be definitely the worst case scenario right now for us, and then actually this might actually pull us a lot lower towards downside here. But if we do that, we're gonna start talking about some kind of bearish scenario. But right now there is actually no reason to talk about bearish scenarios, because you'll see even this line up here, we are technically above the resistance level. So if you go to some kind of small time frames up here and remove the moving average, so you can see this a little bit nicer, what you're gonna see here on the chart is that we are right now actually and we pull this over here, we are actually right now again above the line over here, right? So over here we had this very resistance level that we've been looking at, this triangle that everybody is actually looking at, right? And then we came above that resistance level, pull back. We didn't even pull back all the way down to the bottom, we just came in right back above that. There is some kind of retest over here. This is again small time frame, so a lot of stuff can actually happen, but it does look like it's already getting back outside of this triangle up here and wants to actually move again towards the upside. So I'm definitely bullish right now on the price, and especially after this move over here towards upside, where the bears started shorting heavily again. So this again, this part over here was heavily shorted. That's why we have a very clear horizontal resistance over here. And once we actually came and broke that towards upside, this was again heavily shorted towards upside. You can understand that a lot of people shorting right now these levels, they think that as soon as this actually breaks down, there is going to be a huge profit. So they are right now shorting this 72k level up here towards upside, and and we still say that we need to do a little bit more move towards upside to actually become stupidly bullish above 72k, give or take. But you can see already right now it is getting broken. It is already getting a little bit more bullish, which is actually very nice. Now there are definitely other things that I've seen people talking about. For example, the Bolinger bands are getting very squeezed over here. So you'll see right now that when it comes to these Bolinger bands, we are getting very squeezed towards ups over here. And oftentimes when you get these squeezes, you get some kind of moves. You don't have to get moves, but at least you get some kind of try on the move. At least you get some kind of movement that might actually break towards upside or downside. So something is going to happen very soon. The other thing that you're going to notice here on the Bolinger band chart is that we still are not actually at the very bottom on the daily time frame over here. You can see up here on the daily time frames, and you'll see also, let's go to another chart over here. This is the daily time frame, historical Bitcoin. You'll see over here that just before the big move towards upside in 2021, we had this very tight squeeze. So we came over here inside the Corona dump, then we pulled outside, and you also see that this pattern up here right now is the same kind of pattern that we are having right now. But you know, this consolidation went so long until we actually hit the bottom down there, and you know, went sideways up here for a while. It was very, very boring before these big moves actually started happening. Yeah, let's split the chart in two so we can actually see this a little bit better, and we're gonna clean the chart up here. And we're gonna do this one as well. And this part up here, it does look a little bit like, you know, it did over here right after the Corona part. So let's squeeze it so it does look almost the same. So I'm gonna show you this, how this actually looks like. I mean, it kind of does look like some this, you know, big impulsive move up, big impulsive move up. There was some kind of, you know, big move towards downside, and then we climbed towards upside up here, climbed towards upside. You can see there is also the line up here, give or take. And there is a resistance level up here, right? That went something like this over here, or give or take. But right now we got that level up here and that support level over here. But it does look a little bit same. And this happened just before the major rally, right? So we have the same part right now where we are in 2021, just before, you know, we started, you know, going very, very heavily towards upside. And it looked like, you know, after this move towards upside, there was this consolidation part that it looks kind of the same. It's not exactly the same on the dollar. I mean, you can say that this move is down this move, and this move over here is this move, and then you know maybe this move up here is something like this over here, give or take, right? And there is also some kind of, you know, consolidation over here happening, right? So, you know, are we gonna break this towards downside? You know, the worst case scenario that might happen that we said. But after we actually broke this towards downside, we just came into this box up here, which was actually very, very bullish. Then we broke right back up there and, you know, continue towards upside. So we gotta still wait a little bit, you know, to see how this actually gonna play out, but it's already looking very, very bullish, very, very bullish. Let me show you something else right now. I'm gonna show you a couple of charts right now that are actually showing that, you know, the bull market is not done. I did read a lot on X and other places, and anybody who met us, they are very strongly bullish. Now, there is always gonna be doomslayers saying that, you know, we are going back down to 10k or 20k or 30k or whatever. We gotta go down to 50k and pick up the liquidity and stuff like that. No, it looks very, very bullish. So over here there's this chart up here. If you have noticed, you know, links down below, we got something called TF Fans Club, and we got something called TF Fans Club Blue Balls. And the reason we are called Blue Balls is because of these balls on the downside, right? This is Bitcoin 200 weekly moving average realized price, RSI. These blue balls on the downside, they're indicating some kind of bottoms, right? Some blue balls. That's why we call ourselves the Blue Balls. And when we are down here, we have been, you know, buying heavily towards on the blue balls. But what you're gonna see more interesting right now is that these blue balls came into light balls, green balls, yellow balls, and right now we are at orange balls. So we are right over here before this last part towards upside. You can see up here just before we broke the previous high up here in 2016 and did this major rally towards upside, we are orange ball. So right now we're getting this very, very first orange ball over here on the chart, and we still got this red part to, you know, to go towards upside. So there are also definitely other indications that are this, you know, the top is not in, you know, there is a, you know, whole bunch of, you know, upside left, and we are still looking for this, you know, move towards upside. The other thing you're gonna notice is that once we get these red balls over here, the red balls actually continue for a long time, then continue for less time, you know. And the way I see it right now, you know, we might get some kind of, you know, red balls, you know, 1-2 red balls, but don't get too overly excited that it's gonna last for, you know, 1 year's time or anything like that. You know, once you get a red ball, you kind of in that, you know, euphoric stage where the price, you know, too many people going too big long at the very, very tops. But we are at the orange ball right now, and we are still waiting for the red balls, so there is definitely more upside. Another thing I want to show you is because alt season right now looks very, very close, give or take. Now this is Bitcoin Dominance. This is Anup Dungana. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a YouTuber. He posted a chart yesterday on X, and what you're gonna see here is second halving. Exactly after the second halving, the Bitcoin dominance actually went down, right? The third halving up here, I mean, technically over here, it started going down before that. It started going down heavily. Right after that, it went heavily down. So over here, we had a small, I don't know if you can see that, but you know, we had a small heavily drop down. We had a big heavily drop down. And right now we're getting this fourth halving. So, you know, everybody expecting this dominance to drop down as well. And I've been saying that once the dominance start dropping towards downside, heavily towards downside, we are very, very close to some kind of, you know, ending of the bull market. Now, it can play out for a very, very long time, like it did in 2000. I don't know when this started, 2016 to 2018, you know, dominance went down heavily towards downside, or it can, you know, take a little bit less time, or even a very, very sharp drop down and be over, right? So we have to follow dominance and see when dominance drops down, that that might be end of the bull market, right? But the dominance haven't started dropping down, so, you know, the bull market is not done just yet, but it looks very, very close that we are getting to this altcoin season that might actually be, you know, pump everything else towards the upside. So let's go look a little bit on Bitcoin dominance over here. Bitcoin dominance is still actually going towards the upside over here, and we're still looking for this to actually break down. So we don't actually see any kind of weakness just yet that you know, we're gonna break this towards downside. Not only that, they're actually breaking towards upside, but it is in the resistance levels over here. So you know, as soon as this actually for whatever reason breaks down, it's pretty much over, and we are looking for that altcoin season that might actually pump us towards upside. Another thing that I'm actually looking at is this channel that goes towards the upside. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and I'm still waiting for this to actually break towards upside. I mean, I was stupidly bullish over here, unfortunately stupidly bullish, and you know, it still broke down, but right now you can see over here, if this is the right correct channel up here, we have been coming to these bottoms over here, but right now we are not at that bottom. You know, are we gonna go even lower toward downside? I do not know, but what we do know is when this starts breaking towards upside, when the dominance up here starts breaking towards downside, and when this chart up here, where is the chart? Of course, dominance start going towards downside, we are getting altcoin season. It is very, very close. Doesn't mean it's gonna be this week or next week or week after that, we don't know, but it is very, very close. Next week, today is Friday, so you know, there is not a lot of days left, like a week left tops, week give or take, and the Bitcoin halving is gonna happen. The big event is very, very close. We are waiting for that, but I'm definitely bullish a little bit up here. Maybe not, you know, maybe not overly bullish, because I still think we need to close above these highs up here at 71 point something level over here, break these highs on the daily time frame. So we need some kind of daily close above that. And again, the worst case scenario is breaking below the support level. But like you just saw in 2020, right after Corona dump, we actually did the same kind of move where we went into some kind of box over here and then went towards upside. That will also be very, very bullish, and technically, you know, any kind of dump towards downside is still buy the dip opportunity, the way I see it. And even if you go a little bit lower towards downside up here, I believe that, you know, eventually it will go very, very fast towards upside. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. It looks nice, you know, everything is good and dandy. I haven't been posting, like, you know, for the last 3 days, reasons, life, stuff like that. Hope you enjoy this, you know, and we're gonna continue monitoring what's happening. Of course, it's been boring. I mean, this has been going over here ever since, you know, this stop up here at 73k, you know, 14 March, you know, this has been almost going for 1 month right now, consolidating for 1 month. Of course, people are getting bored. Of course, people are getting bored. But one more thing, there is one more thing, guys. There is always one more thing. Everything else, like altcoins, everything else, it's down like 30% towards downside, give or take. 30, 40%, 20, 30, 40%. Altcoins are down 20, 30, while Bitcoin has been going from 73k to 71k sideways for 1 month. Every altcoin has been going down like 20, 30, 40%. Guys, if Bitcoin does the move, you know, altcoin season is very, very close. Everything is about to explode. Enjoy the day, guys. It is Friday, so, you know, take it easy. I'll see you around. Where is my outro? Bye-bye.